What's up, guys? Sony PlayStation does a delayed release on the PlayStation 5 in India due to a trademark issue. Not to mention the fact we've got some backwards compatibility news for the PlayStation 5 and also what is going on with the latest 8.0 update on Sony's latest firmware. And not to mention the fact we've got 30 optimized games for the Microsoft Xbox Series X and S, which Microsoft is claiming to be the largest lineup in the Xbox history. And last but certainly not least, Among Us, the mobile game that seems to be sweeping the landscape of mobile gaming as we know it. So let's jump right into it. Platform Gamer Podcast starts now. What's up, guys? This is your boy Damar Playboy once again doing my thing here. Unfortunately, Desmond, my partner in crime, could not make it on this particular episode, but that's okay. We're going to keep the ball rolling. We still got lots of news to go over. Plenty of stuff's been floating around on the internet as well as when it comes to social media. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick things off with, once again, our top story for this particular episode. Sony delays the PlayStation 5 in India. This was due to a trademark issue done by a particular shop owner. Now, this was something that just kind of came out of left field, really. This is something that Sony was trying really hard to keep under wraps. Now, I'm not exactly sure how legitimate this information is. Some of this information you'll have to take with a grain of salt, okay? But this is what allegedly has been happening. Now, the thing about it is the fact that with this delay, is it possible that this could be just a work, or quite possibly, is this absolutely true? So far, by the way things are going, it looks like it definitely could be, even after the fact that Sony had already tweeted out the release price and the release date of the PlayStation 5 in India, in which case the PlayStation 5, and let me pull that up right now. They pulled up the latest tweet, in which case, and this is going to be in Indian rupees. So we have the standard edition, which is going to be 49,990 Indian rupees, and the digital edition is going to be 39,990. Now, rough estimate as far as for the calculation, as far as currency conversion, as far as for the standard, you're looking at possibly around $680, and for the digital edition, you're looking at preferably around $550. So that's kind of like the ballpark as far as the price goes when it comes for the India release. Now, another thing too is going to be the release date. Sony already tweeted out that the release date for the PlayStation 5 in India was going to be on November 19th. But now there's a possibility that that is not going to happen now. And we actually have some information here. This was actually reported by Glitched, in which case it states that while the PS5 is set to launch in a few weeks and just over a month here in South Africa, India is not getting the console at launch, and it is thanks to one man. Sony was very quiet about the release on the console in the country. Even after the date and pricing reveal, gamers living in India were in the dark about the plans. It seems Sony was forced to delay the launch of the console due to a trademark conflict with someone who already filed the PS5 trademark. The worst part is that this person also happens to have an Amazon store, and they sell counterfeit controllers and PlayStation accessories. Now, it also goes on to say that it seems that someone on Reddit had spotted the store called Kakuzi, and the owner of the brand is the same guy who registered the PS5 trademark before Sony got their hands on it. Kokuzi is none other than a place to purchase counterfeit PlayStation hardware and accessories. Um, Pretty much stuff like the DualShock 4 controller and things of that nature. Um, there's been screenshots floating around as far as what the store looks like and how it sells its products. Very bad reviews, by the way, for those who happen to care about that part. But anyway, continuing on, it also states that according to the latest update on the trademark, the user filed a counterfeit opposition against Sony and its PS5 trademark, saying the console is harming his goodwill in India. In addition, he claimed Sony is not the original owner of the product and trademark either. Users on Reddit claim to have purchased from Kokuzi before, and upon delivery, they discovered the DualShock 4 controllers were just cheap knockoffs. It seems the owner is trying to take Sony for a run while making money off the PlayStation brand. Now, they claim that they don't know the latest situation surrounding the trademark dispute because of the fact that the legal case is still pretty much under wraps. So Sony is not really letting a whole lot leak out as far as that. I'm thinking maybe they'll come out and speak about it once the dust has settled. But for right now, not a whole lot has been said as far as for this. But they did also state, lastly, that there was very low chance that Sony will make its November 19th release for the PlayStation 5 India. Unfortunately, whoever owns this trademark seems to be milking the situation. Then that the owner seems to be standing by his belief that he does indeed own the trademark and the whole lawsuit is ruining his reputation. I believe it was stated that he actually made claim and trademarked the PS5 in October of last year. So we're not exactly sure where this is going to go in, but if these allegations are true, this is definitely going to put some roadblocks in Sony's opposition. Even after the fact, going back to what I stated earlier, they already tweeted out the price and the date release for the console for the PS5. So far, it looks like until this whole thing gets disputed, it looks like the PlayStation 5, obviously it's not going to be on a definite delay, but it's definitely going to push their plans back quite a few, possibly a few weeks, maybe even a few months. For all we know, India might not even, and we all know how legal battles pan out. These things could go on for months. So there's a really, I'm not going to say a really good chance, but we all know that there's a possible chance that India might not even get the PS5 until possibly 2021. Who knows? But still, we're not sure exactly what direction Sony's going to go in. Obviously, their legal team is trying to figure out exactly if this information is legitimate, especially based off what this particular individual is claiming. But that's definitely going to be something that a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye out for, especially that. I feel sorry for the people in India, especially given the fact I know a lot of people have been eagerly awaiting information regarding the PS5. Definitely no different than what's been happening here in North America. And the fact that once they got that tweet, when Sony put out that tweet about the price and release date, everyone was up in arms saying, okay, so what I got to do next? And now all of a sudden, this thing just hits them like a ton of bricks. And now this totally puts the brakes on everything as far as their plans and their phases going forward, as far as for releasing the PlayStation 5 console over in India. So hopefully Sony will be able to get this matter resolved as quickly as possible without doing damage to its own reputation, but also to hopefully get it over to India, so that way the players over there can enjoy and immerse themselves in the gaming experience that we're definitely going to be taking full advantage of as far as for here, because we are still confirmed for November 12th. But for those of you who don't know, some of you may have already been getting emails tweeted about this on Facebook and also on Instagram about the fact that Sony has been sending out emails that they have been pushing the date forward as far as for getting some of those PS5 pre-order accessories are going to get mailed. The release date is going to be October 30th. So some of us are going to start getting that stuff in a little bit earlier than what was expected. So definitely make sure to check double check and triple check your emails and your notifications. Check your spam, your junk mail if you don't see anything in your inboxes. But definitely make sure you want to stay on top of that, especially for every one of you who had put in your pre-orders. Now, I'm not sure if these are, I believe from what it was stated, it's only going to be for those who pre-ordered specifically through the PlayStation invitation, I believe. So I'm not sure how it's going to work as far as for those who did it through via their store retailers. So I'll try to give you guys some more updated information as far as for that. But as of now, just make sure to check your emails, and hopefully you guys will be getting your stuff in soon. And as far as for when it comes to, I believe they're going to be using via FedEx as far as for that. Now, as far as for the consoles themselves, those might actually require a signature confirmation as far as for that. So just to kind of give you guys a little up to date as far as for that. So be mindful of that as far as when we approach closer to that November 12th. But anyway, that's the news as far as concerning this this trademark issue that Sony is going through. It seems as if Sony just cannot catch a break. They're already going through this issue with Starfield and the fact of Microsoft buying out Bethesda. So that was they already took a big hit on that one, and now they got these kinds of allegations. So it's, at first the year was kind of looking good for Sony, but now it's starting to really start to, they're getting jabbed left and right, and they don't really have enough padding to really block all the damage. But hopefully they're going to do, hopefully their legal team is going to do as much damage control as possible, and hopefully this whole situation will get solved and the gamers over in India can enjoy the PS5 hopefully sooner than later. Now, as far as for the next thing, since we're still on the subject of Sony, the backwards compatibility. Now, for some of you who may not be in the know, this is information that was directly off of Sony's website as far as when it comes to the backwards compatibility. There's a few things I want to go over as far as the fact that when it comes to, there are certain games that they've already listed as far as games that will not be able to port and be played on the PlayStation 5. Some of these titles are going to be DWVR. You also have Afro Samurai 2 Revenge of Kuma Volume 1. You also have TD Isles of Man, Ride on the Edge 2, Just Deal With It, Shadow Complex Remastered, Robinson, The Journey, We Sing, Hitman Go, Definitive Edition, Shadwin, and Joe's Diner. Now, those are just a few of the ones that they're releasing as far as right now. Now, obviously, this information is going to change as we progress. But Sony did state that in order, they're going to make it easier for people to be able to identify what games are actually going to be able to be played on the PlayStation 5 versus ones that are PlayStation 4 only, in which case it will be marked on that game PlayStation 4 only. So if it says that, then you already know right then and there that the game is going to be stuck on the PlayStation 4, so don't even bother attempting to try. Some other things that that are going on as far as for that are going to be things like when it comes to the overall gaming experience. When you start porting those games over, rather it be via through porting it from the one system to the next, or if you happen to have the PlayStation Plus, you drop it from the cloud, or if you happen to have your games and your saved files on an external hard drive, like I do it, and you can actually plug it into the USB and you can port everything over that way. The gaming experience will be a little bit different. Some people might experience some errors here and there due to the dramatic change in when it comes to the software. One of the other things that Sony is also suggesting people do is once you port your game over to the PS5, play the game first before you decide to purchase any add-ons for the game, just to make sure that everything plays out smooth and that there are absolutely no issues as far as for errors, any kind of bugs, anything like that. So that's another thing that you guys want to make sure to take advantage of when it comes to that. So again, don't purchase any add-ons or anything like that until you've actually played your game after you've ported it over. All right. Also, when it comes to PlayStation VR, obviously you will be able to play your PlayStation VR games on the PlayStation 5 console. It does require the PlayStation VR headset and the PlayStation camera, which is sold separately from PlayStation 5 console. And that basically they also stated that you always want to check for the latest updates for the system softwares just to make sure that everything runs smooth, because it seems like to me there's probably going to be quite a few updates that are going to be hitting the PlayStation 5. I'm thinking probably within that first 6 months or even within the first year, we're probably going to be expecting to see quite a lot of different updates, rather it be for backwards compatibility, rather it be for fixing bug patches for certain games. We already know that some of the latest games that are coming out now, I'm sure probably won't have too many issues, given the fact that it's some of the latest titles that are also going to be configured for the PlayStation 5. But also you're going to see those graphic enhancements. The user interface is going to be a little bit different, so you want to keep that in mind as well. But overall, it's definitely supposed to give you a much better game experience as far as visuals and as far as gameplay. So it's definitely going to be quite a few things that are going to be going on with that. They are going to have an overwhelming majority of the 4,000 plus PS4 games that will be playable on the PlayStation 5. Select PS4 games will benefit from the PlayStation 5 console's Game Boost, which may make PS4 games run with a higher or a smoother frame rate. So you can definitely look forward to something like that. I'm thinking like high-res games, something like Devil May Cry 5 and things of that nature. I think games like those are definitely going to take advantage of that particular Game Boost feature, as far as giving you that smoother gameplay, things like that. I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably going to be among them as well. I think games more likely like Horizon Zero Dawn is probably going to be taking advantage of that. So I think there's definitely going to be a lot of different titles, like they said, select titles. But I'm sure more than likely those select titles are going to be some of the latest ones that have came out, as far as I'd say probably within the last year or so. So that's just some cool stuff to think about when it comes to that. But again, definitely make sure that you're real careful when you're porting your stuff over, and definitely hope you guys have a good gaming experience when it comes to that. And that's pretty much all the news I got as far as for the backwards compatibility, as far as for that going forward. Also, one little side note as far as for the backwards compatibility, and while I was talking about patches, there was also a thing as far as concerning the PlayStation 8.0 update. Now, this was something that was that kind of came out of left field for a lot of people. After the update happened, it basically gives Sony the ability to be able to record messages and chats that you happen to have and things of that nature. But the thing is, it seems there have been a lot of people having issues after installing this update. Some people aren't able to access or even see their friends list. Other people can't create events through the communities. Some people even reported that their systems got completely bricked. So, and that's absolute worst case scenario. I know I did end up doing the update on my PS4, and so far I haven't seen any issues as far as for that. So thank goodness for that. But yeah, so far everything's running smooth. I'm able to see my friends list. I was able to create communities and things of that nature. But it seems that the reason for this 8.0 update is also because of the fact that all the features that you're seeing on the PlayStation 4 now, with the recording and everything else, all of these are going to be the features that are also going to be happening on the PS5. So just a little insight as far as what to look for. Well, I don't know about look forward to, but this is something just to be mindful of once you get that PS5 console. So more than likely, I'm thinking once you get your console activated, I wouldn't be surprised if there's already going to be updates that are going to need to be made right then and there. Kind of like how sometimes when you buy a new PC, and then there's all these different updates, security updates, and all the other stuff just to get the system up to date with the latest firmware and such. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like that ended up happening. But yeah, it seems there's been a lot of angry gamers getting rather upset at the fact that all these different issues are happening, all because of this one particular update. So hopefully, I know on PlayStation's site, there's a site where it takes you to where you can physically download the 8.0 installation and the kit. And there's also one that has a repair kit. If you scroll further down that site, there's a repair kit that you can also download. So hopefully, maybe there's a possible chance that that tool can possibly fix the issue and correct it. Maybe it'll probably uninstall it, bring your system back to life, and then try getting it back on there. I'm not exactly sure, but it seems once you've updated, I don't think it's going to allow you to go back to any other version. So unfortunately, once it's done, it's done. But that's pretty much it. So also let me know down in the comments if you guys have also done the update yourselves. I'm sure many of you have already gotten the updates, especially if your settings on your PlayStation happens to be set to automatic updates installed. Mine's set to automatic, so it just kind of happened overnight, so I didn't even know it was installed until I actually looked and I checked the versions in the settings, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm on 8.0. But that's pretty much the thing as far as that going with that. But yeah, hopefully most of you guys' systems are fine. If not, definitely jump on the horn, or chances are you might want to give those tools a try. You might need to reinstall the update. Not too sure, but just a little tidbit of information as far as for that. Other than that, that's pretty much the gist as far as for the PlayStation news. So we got all that out of the way. So now moving on to Microsoft. They came out with, they have 30 optimized games for the Xbox Series X and S. Now, this is something that Xbox is super thrilled about, and they wanted to make sure that they got the word out as far as what exactly that means. So it was reported, and this is off of Xbox News, that they do have 30 games fully optimized on Xbox Series X and S launch day. This was reported on October 15th, which also happened to be my birthday. Anyway, the launch of a new generation of games is the culmination of epic creative and technical endeavors from developers around the globe, all focused on a single goal: delivering immersive new experiences and rich new worlds to explore. The Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S Day 1 lineup reflects this incredible ingenuity, bringing you a creative, diverse and deep collection of iconic, inventive, and critically acclaimed games from amazing creators from around the world. Now, it also goes on to state that when you power on your Xbox Series X or the Series S on November 10th, you will be greeted by the largest launch lineup in Xbox history. Games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you got Watch Dogs Legion, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Gears Tactics, and Tetris Effect Connected will be some of the much anticipated next-gen games that you can play on day one. The Xbox Series X and X Series will launch with 30 new games playable day one, 20 of them with smart delivery that are upgraded automatically, and thousands of backward compatible titles across 4 generations. Now, looking forward to this holiday. There will be more incredible games coming to Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S sorry, before the end of the year, including Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War launching November 13th, Destiny 2 Beyond Light launching November 10th, and optimized for Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S on December 8th. The Xbox console launch exclusive, The Medium, will be on December 10th. When Cyberpunk 2077 launches on November 19th, it will look and play best on our next-gen consoles and take advantage of smart delivery technology, giving fans the best version of whatever Xbox console you own. There is truly a game for everyone on Xbox, and we can't wait to enter the future of console gaming with you. Now, this is going to be the list of games available starting on November 10th that look and play best on Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. And this includes day one Xbox Series S and X optimized titles. You have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which utilizes smart delivery, Borderlands 3, which also is going to use smart delivery, Bright Memory 1.0, Cuisine Royale, smart delivery, Dead by Daylight, Devil May Cry Special Edition, Dirt 5, Enlisted, Evergate, The Falconeer, Fortnite, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Grounded, King Oddball, Maneater, Manifold Garden, NBA 2K21, Observer System Redo, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Planet Coaster, Sea of Thieves, Tetris Effect Connected, The Tourist, War Thunder, Warhammer, Chaos Bane Slayer Edition, Watch Dogs Legion, WRC 9 FIA World Rally Championship, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and yes, Your Grace. And the main majority of those games that I listed off are also going to use smart delivery, but for a nice majority of those, they're also going to be available on Xbox Game Pass. So that's just a listing of a lot of the games that are going to be going forth as far as what what Xbox is looking absolutely. They're looking good right now. Those are some pretty solid tiles as far as what Xbox is working with right now. And keep in mind, if this is what they have on launch day, I have a feeling that they're going to have a nice lineup of things that's going to be happening come the start of 2021. And I know they got some big plans in the works, especially now that they've acquired Bethesda. So that's just some of the news as far as when it comes to what's coming out of Xbox news as far as the latest. So for those of you who are planning on getting the Xbox Series X or S, well, you got quite a few titles to look forward to. Not to mention the fact you can take full advantage of the Xbox Game Pass. Also, once again, for those of you who happen to own the Samsung Note 20, you can also take advantage of a lot of those games too. Because again, if you got their special bundle, you can get the Xbox Ultimate Gamer bundle included with the purchase of the Galaxy Note 20. So a lot of you guys have some options as far as taking advantage of the Xbox Game Pass. But that's what's going on as far as for that. All right. And last but certainly not least, we now have Among Us. Now, this was a game that I really still don't know too much about. I did end up downloading the game. I want to at least get a little bit of playtime in before I decided to, try to talk about it. But it appears that Among Us, as of August and September, the title has recorded over 85 million downloads in just August-September period on mobile devices. Among Us is leading in both the stores, i.e., the Google Play Store and Apple's App Store. So that is crazy. I mean, 85 million downloads. That is nuts. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. They're definitely making waves. This is something that for those of you who might not be aware of what Among Us is, basically, to make a long story short, it's pretty much it's a game that is about teamwork and also about betrayal. And pretty much players can choose. You can pretty much choose whether you can be a crewmate or you can be what's known as the imposter. In which case, you can play up. I think you play with 4 up to 10 players. But I guess there might be some kind of multi thing where you can actually play with more. But basically, the crew is trying to complete these tasks that are on the laptop, that you open these files on the computer, and then you go around the ship in different areas and you complete these tasks, whether it's connecting wires or it's swiping a security card, that kind of thing. But also in completing the task, you also have to try to figure out who the imposter possibly is. And there's also a special option, in which case there's an emergency button that you press. And I guess you're given a certain amount of times where you can hit that emergency button, which initiates a kind of like an emergency meeting, in which case you can discuss openly um, on who you think the imposter might be, what information they might know, that kind of thing. And if you happen to be playing the part of the imposter, your job is to kill everybody. So that's, I guess for the most part, that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Basically, if you happen to be a person who happens to be in charge of hosting the game, definitely get a few perks with that. You can choose exactly how the game plays out. Also, the fact that you have the ability to temporarily kick or even ban other players if they happen to be causing a lot of ruckus during the gameplay. So that's always cool. As far as for the game itself, you can choose to control it via through the joystick or through touch, which is great. I believe there's 2 modes on there. There's a local and then there's an online. And I know when you go to the, I think it's the free to play, I believe it is. Yeah, if you go to free play, it gave me like 3 options that you can choose from. One of them is called the Skeld, and then the other one is, what was the other one? Mira HQ and Paulus. Now, for the Scud, I was doing little tasks like I was fixing the wiring, I was downloading weapons, and I was navigating the other sections of the ship to complete tasks that, once again, was on the laptop. Basically, any of those areas that you start off with, there's always going to be a laptop in there that you go and you interact with the interface, and then it has all these files, and you open the files, and there's like these tasks that are in there that you select, and it adds to your list. And what you do is you go around and you try to complete those tasks as far as for that. As far as for Mira HQ, I want to say they all are on a ship, but I'm not sure as far as for Paulus, because Paulus was seemed a little different to me. But Mira HQ is also a ship. They had some kind of like botanical garden, and there's like this huge test tube with some kind of flower floating in the center of it. Not sure what that was about. As far as for Paulus, I'm still trying to figure out if it's actually on a ship. If it is, I'm thinking that maybe the ship has some kind of special climate control, because there are certain areas where when you go through a particular door, there's like this open area, in which case all of a sudden it starts snowing, and you see like snow on the ground and everything else. So I'm not exactly sure if this is still taking place on the ship, or if it's more like some kind of plant of some sort. But yeah, those are just the experiences that I've had as far as that. So I was kind of going around using, there was like this white circle that's on the bottom left-hand corner that you use to kind of move the little guy around. But so far, it seemed interesting. It seemed interesting. That's about as far as I got. I'm definitely going to be playing a little bit more and give you guys a little bit more information on my experience as far as with the game. But so far, I just kind of went around. You know, I fixed a few wiring, swiped my card, that kind of thing. I didn't really get myself into doing the imposter thing, but there is a practice mode where you can polish up on crewmate strategies and strategies on how to discover the imposter, that kind of thing. So you can definitely get some practice time in before you actually go in and do the real thing. So that's always a plus. But besides that, that's pretty much it. But yeah, but so far, Among Us is definitely, it seems like that's definitely going to be the go-to game as far as for mobile gaming as of now. I know when I opened up the game, they did announce that Among Us 2 is confirmed, although there is no release date. And it looks like the Inner Sloth merch store is also open. It's live. And also, last but certainly not least, it looks like they were taking pre-orders, I believe, for Among Us 2, but those pre-orders ended back on August 28th. So that's pretty much as far as the latest news as far as for that. But yeah, so far it seemed like a pretty cool game. Typically, I'm not really a fan of games like those, but I'm always willing to try something out, you know, because I mean, you can't be a real gamer if you're not willing to, you know, kind of step out your little bubble So I decided to try it out, so I downloaded it and everything else. So yeah, I'm definitely going to play a little bit more. Um, right now, the main games that I'm kind of doing, which I might end up doing a special Twitch stream, which is going to be for Rogue Company, in which case. For that, it looks like they have a collab with 100 Thieves, and this was previously, and it looks like they also have a collaboration with Dr. Disrespect, in which case you can download his official skin and some other stuff. In which case, that skin is I guess it's a legendary skin for the character of Dallas. And there's also a special map that I believe he designed himself that specifically geared toward his tournament play as far as that. So you got the red Lamborghinis, you got the little statues of him and everything else. And he even commentates during that particular mission and in that area. So, yeah, I don't really know too much about Dr. Disrespect, but, you know, either way it goes, I'm still having fun playing the game. So it's all cool. But anyway, I want to thank you guys again. That pretty much brings us to the end of this particular podcast. Don't forget to make sure to drop a like. Definitely subscribe to us if you happen to like the information you heard on that. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Platform Gamer P1. That is the number 1, Platform Gamer P1. And also, not to mention the fact you can follow us on Facebook. And if you happen to decide that you're not really a audio video kind of person, you kind of more like just listening to it, we also are available, in which case you can listen to our podcast on Spotify as well as Podbean, in which case I'll try to make sure to have all of those links down in the description below, so that way it give you guys a little bit of a shortcut so you can jump right onto it. But anyway, thanks again for listening. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed this particular episode on the podcast. And Platform Gamer Podcast wouldn't be where it is to now without you guys. So definitely want to show some love and respect to all you guys. So without further ado, that's all we got for this particular episode. Once again, drop a like, leave us some comments, let us know about some of the topics, whether it be the trademark issue with Sony or about the 30 games. What games on Xbox Series S or X or S are you looking forward to playing as far as for their launch day? All right, and if you play Among Us, let me know your experience. What do you think? Is the game that good? Is it worth downloading? Let me know. Other than that, thank you so much, guys. You guys take care and stay safe. Platform Gamer Podcast, signing out.